Rewatching Breaking Bad right now on the final episode of the whole show tonight, the season finale. How good is that show, Breaking Bad? You know, I've already talked about it, I think, a couple of times about how just like the camera work, how they lean more on the ability of the actors than they do on the cinematography, which is refreshing. And I didn't realize it back at the time. Now that I'm involved with all this shit, I see it. But it's even like more than that. It's just a story is so well done. It's so well done. Like, spoiler alert for, you know, you fucks that didn't watch it. I don't know who that even would be. But when they tricked Walt to think that they unburied the money in the barrels and Hank took that picture of, like, the fake setup in his backyard and Walt's ripping it to the fucking location, I'm like, no! I was literally like, and I've already seen this, like, years back. And I'm like, cringing, and Walt killed everybody at this point, and I still don't want him to lose his money. That's the makings of a good show. God damn. Why is it so hard to make shit like that? Or it's not even necessarily the case, because I've seen a lot of good stuff. It's almost like I'm so skeptical to start shows now. There's so many shows in the it seems like the technique is more now throw shit against the wall, see what sticks. We'll fund 12 of these productions that like target every possible like demographic of people, like niches. Wait, what is it? Niches? Niches? Yeah, there we go, niches. The immigrant section, baby! Perfect. They target the niches was a demographic. وبعدين they make very good attempt. Okay, like they're just trying everything and they're seeing what works pretty much. And like it's almost the way Netflix does shows, it literally seems that like the way venture capitalists invest in startups, you know? They'll invest in like 10, 20 startups with the hope that if one bangs off, then it'll repay all of the other 20 that were, or 18 or whatever it was, that was a flop. It's just a hedged investment. There's every day it's something different on Netflix saying like, and the best is this new technique of like telling you the top 10 in Netflix, the top, I'd be willing to bet that top 10 is different for everybody. You know? It's just another way of Netflix trying to gear you towards watching more. Like, oh, look, honey, the fucking Deadpool 2 is number 1 in Canada right now. I guess we should rewatch Deadpool 2. And when they first started that numbering system, I was about to click. You know? I was like, Deadpool 2 was good. And then I'm like, first of all, I remember exactly how it went. I think I saw it like within the last 12 months. So let's rule that out. Second of all, the only appeal was that it's number 1 in Canada. That's it. Just how we go on Rap Caviar and be like, what are the Billboard, like, what's number 1 on the Billboard? Let's play that over and over. We put so much focus on this user review. It's actually taken over everything. Like, this is the perfect example of this. The other day, I was driving around, last night, I was driving around Andrea, and I forgot to bring water in the car. We're thirsty. I'm like, let's find a Tim Hortons. I Google map a Tim Hortons nearby for you American listeners. Dunkin' Donuts, you know, it's like a fucking, you know, drive-through coffee cafe place. I Google map Tim Hortons, and there's like 8 locations. It's like it's everywhere. There's like 8 locations around me. I literally start scrolling through the reviews as if I'm going to choose the best Tim Hortons. Like, what? How far has this come? We don't trust our intuition at all when it comes to these choices. Like, we put all the weight on their user reviews. Like, and I'm the biggest culprit of this. Like, she'll be like, hey, do you want to do sushi? I'll be like, yeah, find a place. And she'll be like, okay, this one looks good. And I'll be like, what's the review? What's the rating? She'll be like 4.3. I'll be like, how many reviews? And then she'll be like 700. You know, it's like I'm just doing, it's all math at this point. It's all everything that all of my choices are driven by mathematics. It used to be like, yo, I used to be at the DVD place, at the movie place, you know? And I'd be just looking at my movie options. And I would look at the front cover, I'd read the back, I'd see who's in it, I'd make a judgment call. And it's like that Sebastian bit with ice cream sampling. It's like, and if I don't like it, yeah, I fucked up. You know what I mean? But now it's like everything is like almost mortgage level review and like analytics to be like, is this the best sushi place? Is this the spot we should go within this 3-kilometer vicinity or whatever it is? There's no like, and if your phone is dead and you just walk into a place, you're just like, oh, watch this place be fucked. I wonder what the reviews are on this place. Yeah, maybe it's gotten out of control in my life specifically, but I see everybody doing this. I'll be like, yeah, what's that? What it get? What's the rating? What's the rating on that? You know, we don't trust ourselves at all to just go in and that's something I want to go back to, but it's so fucking hard, you know, especially, and I actually remember this happening. I remember like a year ago, I realized this too, and I was like, you know what? Let's just search what's nearby and go to it. Forget the rating and let's choose one and let's go to it. And I remember went to this one, I think it was a Korean spot, and it ended up being terrible. And when we looked at the Google reviews, it was 3.2. And I was like, fuck. This is not the reinforcing lesson I needed. Like, shit. We could have avoided this. Peer review 1, Abbas 0. You know what I mean? Like, I feel stupid. But at this point, it's everything. It's literally everything. That Netflix score, it tells you, oh, this is, here's a percentage for your match. It's all analytics. And it's only going to get worse. Let's be honest. It is no way we're letting off on the analytics, right? But now they're finally putting out a lot of books and literature and studies on like the damage of all this stuff. There's this book I'm skimming through called Irresistible. I forget how I even heard about it, but it's really going through the addictive nature of like all of the social media platforms. Everything was designed to addict, right? It's designed to maximize time on that platform. And the means by which they do it, by gamifying everything, you know what I mean? I'm like, this isn't going to get better. This is only going to get worse. Machine learning is only going to improve. The number of people on these platforms is only going to increase. So the data is only going to get more widespread and clear and able to generate a better result for your preference. So it's only going to get better in the sense of accuracy. But then when you commit to totally always considering that to guide your decisions, it becomes everything becomes grayer, so to speak, you know? There's something nice about that feeling of that Blockbuster, Rogers, or wherever you rented movies back in the day, just going through and not knowing, you know, unless it was out right now and it's like Roger Ebert gave it 4 star or whatever. Besides that, if it's an old movie, you don't go home and now, for instance, and I know everybody does this, you'll be at a department store and you'll see an item and you won't even consider buying it. You look at Amazon to see the rating and to see the price, right? So it's like, so it's good in that sense. In the sense of finding the best deal, everything is great, but everything kind of becomes a lot less magical. Everything is way more tactical. Consumerism, of like getting products, of like capitalism, of buying hardware, buying all that stuff. We always need to compare and look at what people said. And with content, with absorbing like Netflix, Amazon Prime, everything, you know? It's like, it's so rare that I'll be like, oh, this looks interesting. I'll just be like, right away, I'll be like, Rotten gave it 67, but that's the critic, and users gave it 45. That's out. There's no scenario where I'm going to watch that. But how many movies are terrible and you love them? You remember Kung Pao? I grew up on Kung Pao. Like the martial arts dubbed comedy that just kind of made fun of everything. And that was an actual movie from what I understand. Like in China that they just dubbed over in a hilarious way and added some 3D. But like, that's a cult classic. So maybe that's not the best example. But movies like that would probably get terrible reviews. But enjoy the hell out of them, you know? On the flip side, that movie No Country for Old Men or No Country for whatever, I forget what it's called. I remember that had stellar reviews, and I didn't enjoy the movie that much. And the reviews were so good, you second guess yourself. I'm like, you know what? It's the same with The Departed. The Departed, everybody loves The Departed. Oh, dude, it's one of the best, blah, blah. Critically acclaimed, high reviews. I didn't fuck with it that much. And I can't even tell you why specifically because I didn't watch it for years, but I remember at the end just being like, you know? And now it's in my nature to second guess. I'll go, oh, I did get an 8.8 on IMDb. I should probably give it another watch. You know, maybe I missed something, you know? It shouldn't be like that. I bet you there's so many movies that'll get like a 6 on IMDb and a 70 or a 60 on Rotten for audience score that I would love. That would be the best scenario for me. Like Fast and the Furious, Too Fast, Too Furious, Tokyo Drift. I loved all of those movies, and I'm sure what I would personally give them is a lot higher than what the masses have given them, you know, as compared to like all movies, right? Yo, it's Abbas Wahab. That was a clip from this week's Patreon bonus episode. If you want to catch the rest or get access to weekly bonus episodes, just go to patreon.com/the Immigrant Section. Otherwise, episodes are going to keep coming out every Tuesday, same place, same time. If that's not enough for you, you got to become a certified refugee at patreon.com/the Immigrant Section. Weekly bonus episodes and more. Join the immigrant revolution, y'all. Until next time, peace.